Well, good morning, people. How are we all doing today? Well, we're doing fine. My wife has joined us. Say hi.
Hello.
So, as we speak, we're doing some severe updates on the Mac computers and other iOS devices in the house. Because apparently this is affecting your computer as well as your phone, your iPad, etc. If it has an iOS and it's on the internet, guess what? You're going to have to make sure that you get up to date. Now, on the phones and iDevices, we're talking iOS 14.8 security update. Now, if your device cannot do it, get off the internet, please, because you're going to still stay at risk no matter what. And that for your Macintosh computers, those of you using Macs. Now, as you guys know, I do not approve or condone of the use of Hackintoshing a unsupported Mac to a newer OS because the security is just kind of like really super flawed and not really real. And same goes for those Hackintoshing PCs and turning them into Macintosh operating systems on PC computers. Same problem. So therefore, run a legit computer and you'll have a legit OS. Anyways, but even if you have a legit OS, here's the problem. We're only good for Catalina and above, so there you go. Anyways, let's find out what's going on. Toronto lab uncovers a spyware flaw in Apple devices, prompting security update for users worldwide. Boy, did I get a surprise this morning when I got out of bed, and I need a nap later because I had a very rough sleep. So it's going to be hours before my devices are done, so I have time for a nap after this. Anyways, the latest iOS update is an urgent and important one for every Apple user worldwide, whether they have a phone, computer, watch, or, of course, iPads. The tech giant has issued a security patch. Now, my Catalina laptop got one last night, unbeknownst to me. Of course, the eyeballs were fuzzy at 4:30 in the morning while checking on my other computer, getting Big Sur installed. So I double-checked this morning. Sure enough, it's done. Woohoo! One less computer to do later. So, anyways, that feels pretty good. That said, it's also sobering because it highlights the sophistication of the problem we're looking at. Okay, senior researcher at the lab told CTV News Toronto Tuesday. He said the team discovered a technique allowing spyware to access devices through what's called a zero-click exploit. Now, we all get spam mail in our junk mail. We also get spam mail that doesn't hit the junk mail. It actually hits our regular inbox, and some of us, well, we click on things, and we probably shouldn't. Now, I'm not one of them, of course, but, you know, I've known about this stuff even, pretty much since the dawn of the age of the internet. You know, so I've never been caught in that sort of garbage. But let's continue on, shall we? Researchers believe the spyware was developed by NSO Group. This is an Israeli technology firm with products for governments to prevent crime and terror. Woo! Anyway, Citizen Labs said they picked up on it while a Saudi activist was being targeted. I'm kind of curious how they knew about that. But what are these guys doing? I need a new job. I miss doing this stuff. Anyways, researchers also say Apple had no idea about the flaw, which means the company had to act right away. You want to talk right away? I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, I was up at 4:30 checking on my one computer, getting Big Sur reinstalled, and I hit the software update for Catalina on my other laptop, and I guess that was the one, because that was 2.5 gigs of my data now gone. Thank you, Internet. Anyways, now we got about another 30 gigs worth of data going down the tubes today, updating all of our Apple devices. Kind of sucks having limited bandwidth, but anyways, we'll have to deal with the bill later. So, safety is first. Researchers also say Apple had no idea. Okay, they had to act right away. The targets appear to be people like activists and other high-value people. Okay, so if you've got money in the bank, ching baby, okay, you're a target. Actually, you're a target no matter what anyways, because this thing's just out targeting computers, period, right? Like, there you go. So there is nothing to prevent the company from doing what they want to do tomorrow, which is what? To sell it to local governments and the fuzz. Okay, which means you could have the SWAT team at your house wondering why. Well, maybe you shouldn't have been doing that illegal deal. Maybe you shouldn't have been surfing on certain websites that are illegal to surf on in your country or province or territory or what have you. They're going to get up the dirt on you and make your life miserable. Okay, so continuing on. Citizen Lab has been analyzing these types of digital threats from Toronto for years and has local students help with some of its projects. Make sure to update your phones, but also remember what this update means. This means that there is an industry out there that is unaccountable. Sound familiar? And finding ways to hack any phone in the world without any action on your part. Interesting. He warns, while this flaw was caught, those behind the zero-click exploit are increasingly making the technology more sophisticated and dangerous. Notice they didn't say whether or not they busted their buns for this, because...
No, they employed them.
Yeah. Well, come on, seriously. You guys know the history of hackers in the world?
Yep.
Okay. How many hackers have actually spent one honest day behind bars? Okay, maybe they've spent a couple till they got to their trial, but they still... It didn't go anywhere. It got dismissed. The company hires them. Yep. That's the kind of person we need on our security team, because if he can hack our stuff, we need him. So they'll cut a deal with the courts and saying, all right, you know what, let him go. We're just going to hire him. And this happens more times than not. I remember one year when some guy was selling phones out of a warehouse, massive warehouse. And it's like, well, where'd he get all the phones from? Well, they were delivered in mysterious places, like the Third Hole Man cover off of Jason Street or something. And you know what? Couriers would actually do this. And, you know, and then there was the penny pincher hack, right? Pinching a penny out of every single bank account that the person got into. Made millions of dollars on this. Then, of course, the nickel and dimer hackers. Of course, they went for higher profit rating. They figured a penny wasn't enough. And who misses a nickel or a dime, right?
Yep. That's the idea.
That's the idea, right? So it was very easy to do these hacks into banks. So it's not uncommon for hacking to actually happen, you know. And this is just something that, you know, is scary. I mean, I'm not worried about people digging up dirt on me, you know, but there are people that would like to keep their lives private. So you have two options out there. Stay the heck off the internet, or make sure you're completely secure. Okay? Which, by the way, you're still not 100% secure, but have the best security possible at least. Now, Apple takes security more serious than Microsoft does, or any other company in the world. So I do prefer Apple products, not just because of that, but for many other reasons, which we'll discuss in another video. But in this case, I would like to hear from my wife right now and see what she would like to say to you fine folk about this sort of garbage. Any comments from the new Mac freak in the house? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. 17 years of putting up with dirty looks and scowls of me always driving Mac down her face. She finally decided to try out Mac. Other than iPhones and iPads, which she liked, it was the Mac computer which was the big thing. So she got into a laptop, and now she actually has a late 2015 iMac, 21.5-inch computer, and she loves it so much that even before I gave her that particular computer, she screamed out one day from the bathroom, "Macs rule!" And I just about fell over dead. I mean, seriously. So, honey, take over the show for a couple of minutes and let these fine folk hear from you, and then we'll get out of here.
Yes, Macs rule. You heard it yourself, folks.
She still has
I'm a convert.
She still has a PC, though, and I still have a PC as well.
Yeah. PCs, yeah.
You got to fly both sides of the fence for purposes.
But I am a Mac convert after all this time. And it's nice to know I can still knock them over with a feather. Anyway, this is really scary news that I woke up to because, yeah, I have an iPhone, an iPad, the iMac, 21.5 inch running Big Sur.
That old iBook will never go back on the net.
No,
barely
no,
anyway.
the iBook, I have an iBook G4, but it's not on the net. It's just for playing old games. But, yeah, this is scary stuff because it requires no action by you. It's insidious. It can happen whether you're aware of it or not. So, that is extremely dangerous and scary.
Commonly, we download video games, right?
Yeah.
And if we're running antiviral software, it can catch stuff.
Yeah.
Your software ain't going to catch this.
No.
It's
No.
it's untraceable.
Yeah.
So,
And the reason for it is scary as well, because they are looking for dirt on you, which, like, you've done nothing to anybody else, right? So,
hackers don't always go after high-profile people either.
no, they'll try, and then if they find something juicy, then it's like, oh, let's dig more into this guy, you know?
I've only ever been hacked twice, and at both times, it was only being able to be done on a PC. Okay? The first time was my email account. I lost one of my email accounts through Hotmail. And of course, unless you're a paying
free.
customer,
Yep.
you've
We
got
don't
no
have to help
recourse.
you. Yeah.
So, thousands of dollars worth of invoices that were in my saved box and everything that I still hadn't paid yet, you know,
Or printed off.
or printed off or saved or anything other than on the email, is gone. And the account's gone, and it's unrecoverable, right? And you can't even say forgot password because that didn't work either. So that was a pretty good little hack that person did to me. But did get me off the hook of having to pay thousands of dollars because, you know, the guy says, well, nothing we can do. And he says, honestly, I didn't save that stuff either. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're both in the same boat. But there was a lot of important stuff I did lose. The second time I got hacked was a phone call. Of all things, how do you hack a computer on a phone call? I mean, this was weird. I mean, I've been a programmer for years and I still haven't, to this day, figured out how it was done. But we were on cable internet at the time, and this was on my landline phone. But I guess because you have an internet presence and people know, there are some things they can trace back to you and get info on you. Okay, and spyware, malware, not every program there will catch it either. And if you start running multiples of this stuff, you start creating more problems and grief for yourself than you can imagine. That's a whole other video. But I'm talking to this bloke on the phone, and he's like, oh, we understand your PC is running very slowly, sir, and you've got some problems here and there. And I'm like, A, how would you know that? B, I don't have a PC, I have a Mac. So you can't hack it. You know, I lied. I had a PC, all right? I'm sorry. I did have a PC, but I also had a Mac in the house, too. The Mac was unharmed, but the PC was toasted. As soon as I went in the house and I had to reboot the computer that day, everything just went, and I'm like, this does not happen. You know, it's like, where did it all go? And all the data's gone from my drive? Like, huh? You know? Okay, duly noted. Don't answer the phone and don't stay on it for more than long enough to say, piss off. Okay?
Click.
I got a phone call this morning, guys, of, you know, and this isn't the first time, it's about the third time in the last 2 months, of, you know, oh, we understand there's some charges on your bank account. You don't normally use these features on your account. There was a purchase made here, purchase made there, and these amounts. If you want to approve them, you know, even though you've never used these features before, then please press 1 or press 2 to deny the charges. And I'm thinking, yeah,
press
click. Don't press either one, because that's when they finish off their job, and you can kiss your bank accounts goodbye and probably your credit cards. And that's an over-the-phone scam. Okay, so by you agreeing to press one of those 2 buttons or whatever, or they say call us back. Don't ever call those numbers back.
Nope.
That's another bad thing.
Nope.
You know, if you do not recognize the email, delete it. Even if you think it's from a friend, look at all the Facebook stuff. I get stuff from my friends on Facebook. First thing I do is I phone them up. I said, "Did you send me this crap?" No. Okay, thank you. So I just click out of it. Okay. I had a friend that ended up with a double account somehow. You know, and it's like, okay, this is interesting. Turned out, no, I didn't create any new accounts, and certainly wouldn't. And then you start to think about it. Wait, I would have gotten a friend contact. So there was a Facebook virus going around that did some nasty stuff. So we had to watch what we did on Facebook for a while, because it would steal your contacts if you clicked on that link. And I don't click on links. This morning, my own friend, who's a fellow Mac fanatic freak, he sends me this link, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I should click on this. I'm calling him. Did you just send me this link? Okay, all right, no problem. I'll watch it later. I am safety freakazoid on this, especially after seeing this morning, previous to him sending me that link. I'm like, Okay, so anyways, be aware. This is a real deal, folks. This is not a scam. Like I said, my computers are now doing security update wazooey, you know, and so are my phones as we're speaking. And then I still got one more iPad I got to do of my own, and then it's the wife's turn. She's got to do all her stuff. Anyways, oh, it looks like I got an email, so we'll get rid of that off the page. So yeah, anyway, that's what we got for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks, honey, for joining. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Max roll!
On that note, I think I need a nap now. Bye!